would like to recap for a little inspiration, bring everybody up to speed?
I'll do it.
Sure.
We woke up on our first night back in Bastion to Merv letting us know that he needed to disembark from this ride. He disseminated the gear, all except for the shit he'd bought for himself, and then scuttled off into the city to go presumably set up with the quintuple quintuple
Yeah.
quintuple C's. Um, uh, and in that time, we got a letter carried by our beloved and
Intern.
darling Gembert, our most treasured Gembert, um, uh, inviting us to a luncheon with the with Master Redstream, councilman.
Mm-hmm.
In the time between breakfast and lunch, we went and hung out with Dom, now Whispers, and Whispers kind of gave us a little bit of a lowdown of what he has been up to in Bastion and the kinds of things that they're in need of. Cal gave a little bit more direction as far as things he wanted um, for the charity, and Henri kind of put in his 2 cents as well about like needing very badly to go back to his own job. Uh, but presumably, we'll have Merv working with them so that Merv at least has something to do um, between potions. We met up with Redstream after discuss. Well, I guess we discussed tattoos prior to this, but we did discuss tattoos at length. Group tattoos. Uh, Taro and Redstream let us know that we are like recognized as heroes in Bastion, and also let us know through uh, through his own way that there is significantly high tension between the people of Bastion and the people of Morass, primarily because Bastion has decided that in order to impress that the trade embargo with Morass must be lifted. They are going to send troops up north to put the heat on. Terowin asked if we would speak on behalf of Bastion to try to mitigate or not mitigate. Yeah, mitigate terms, not necessarily of surrender, but of peace under duress. Um, and we said we would go to Morass, but we would not be speaking on behalf of the city. We are speaking on behalf of peace and of the people who would die at this reckless pride strut. Um, we let me think. Ember made mention of her parents, her dad. Uh, he was a former praetor. Is that right?
Correct.
All right, and that is like like the circle of like guild masters, right? In
Uh,
Morass.
no, the Praetors are
Keeping.
basically the special soldiers, the
Ah,
elite soldiers. I
gotcha.
mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Morass has like there's like city guards, and they don't maintain like a standing army. They basically will send out like a squadron of praetors to take care of things if there's
Essentially like
trouble.
SWAT and
Shit.
or
Yeah.
paramilitary.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yes.
kick
Like them, I
ass.
guess.
So powerful individually, but they don't have anywhere near the numbers that Bastion has.
Mm-hmm. Um, but we agree. Well, we said that we would go to Morass and try to broker peace. Terowin also invited us to a like big event where we would be presented at City Square um, in 2 days' time. And after our lunch with him, we were introduced via uh, oh, her name just slipped my mind. Rodar. Via Rodar, to Zal, who appears to be a writer on who has offered to travel with us, aid us in some capacity, in exchange for the ability to novelize our adventures, uh, granting that we would have editorial control of whatever he publishes. Which we're letting him come along, and some of us are more enthused about uh, the writing than others, I think. But he's hanging out with us now.
Hell yeah. Yeah, excellent. That brings it up to speed. Thank you very much. Go ahead and take some inspiration.
Mhm.
Um, and to add a bit of clarity to the request of the voice Taro and Redstream, yes, most certainly, like if negotiations like come up, like yeah, obviously, like please, negotiate something of effect. But also, mainly, it's like find out why they are why they have been refusing uh, um, any kind of diplomatic contact for the past 3 months.
Okay.
Like essentially, it's like try to find out what's happening, and then if you're able to negotiate something, that's fantastic. But they have really no idea what's happening with Maras in terms of why this has occurred and why it continues to occur. Cool. It is 1 in the afternoon on the 2nd of Kythorn. Um, you guys had just left the Gilded Mug. I believe Rainier wanted to go speak to the Lawmaster,
Mhm.
and everyone else was kind of then breaking off. Well, everyone else is still grouped, but people can then go choose to do what they want to do. I know Firm wanted to go copy spells, so
did those.
they would be able to go do that. I know you made your rolls and everything last session for it.
Oh, okay.
So that's what Firm is heading off to do back at, I believe, Rainier's place. Um, why don't we pick up with Rainier and find out what it is that's what they're doing and what's happening.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe we are on like this. Yeah, we're on this side of the river anyway. So if I remember, central, or is it like outside the city wall is where the Lawmaster is?
Literally where it says North Bastion.
Yeah, that
Uh,
stronghold.
Yeah, giant stronghold is where the main city, like the city guard barracks, are administrative offices. The lawmaster, that's his personal office there when he's not attending in the council building. Um, and the lawmaster is in charge of the city guard as well as Bastion militia.
Hmm. Yeah, I will make my way there, and the first person who asks what my business is I will state that I wish to see Master Greybelt, and
Cool.
that I have no appointment.
Cool. Have no appointment, no problem. They ask, like, okay, cool. Can we get your name? Um,
I
you
think I
s-
flashed my token again, my like medallion that I think got us through the first time we were passing through here very quickly. I think I'll just do that.
sure. You see that they recognize. You're talking about your hunter medallion, right? For
Yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah. You said they recognize that. They ask you if the church has business. Like what does the church have business with the lawmaster for?
I shake my head and say, "This ain't have nothing to do with the church."
Okay. Um, they tell you to hang out for a minute. Um, you're left waiting for about like 15 minutes or so. Um, someone comes back um, and says, um, The Lawmaster's in between meetings at the moment. Um, you he is available to take your meeting. They this administrator and two guards essentially just escort you, as you're moving
Mhm.
through here. Um, this is a familiar place in general. You haven't been like everywhere in this building, right? But like
Mhm.
you've been in the complex as it is. Um, and you begin to head up in towards the higher official offices, where you probably have been like once or twice ever. Um, they lead you up. Um, they knock on a very fancy looking door, open it up to a gruff call of, come. And you see a regal but Spartan kind of office. It's functional, but you see displays of like there's some weapons on the wall, an armor stand, um, open windows letting light in. You see there's an area where there's a desk full of paperwork. And you see there's two figures. One is Thalie Greybelt, the lawmaster, is a older dwarven fellow, and then he has a half elf that he's speaking with as well. They, by their dress and uniform, they appear to be like a second lieutenant, that sort of thing.
Okay.
They are standing over what you recognize very quickly to be um, a table with like a spread out drawing of like Adari itself, and they're clearly talking about troop movements. It's not an insanely detailed map. It's more of a rough sketch of everything. Um, uh, and you see the lawmaster um, turns to see you, gives you a nod of acknowledgement, and his eye moves towards the attendant and guards. He just gives a nod, and they leave and close the door behind them. Um, he hands an envelope to the his assistant and says, "Make sure that these orders go out on the next scout run." Jenna nods and says, "Very well. Don't forget, later on, you have an afternoon about security for the speech from the council, from the voice." And he gives a gruff, like, ugh, okay. Um, the assistant leaves the room, and Thalie turns to you. Catterfield,
Sir,
good to see you again.
I understand it's been a couple of months.
It has indeed. The word of your arrival spread quickly. He gestures towards the desk, and there's a chair, obviously, there for you.
I'll take it.
Cool. He walks over to the desk. You see, stops at a little cart, and he begins grabbing a bottle and pouring some liquor in a glass. And you hear him just say, "Drink."
I put up my hand in a no.
He turns, sees it. Fair enough. Makes himself one. Sits down in the chair, creaks a bit, looks at you, takes a sip, sets the glass down on the desk. "So, what can I do for the fifth season?"
A little bit for the fifth season. Part of it's, I'd say most of it's actually just for me. I have been in conversation this morning with Master Redstream of the council, mentioning some of the events that have transpired since mine and my companions have blinked off of this plane momentarily.
We waste no time, that one.
But I understand that it is sort of a urgent matter. He said that with some of the difficulties in trade on the old road from Maras, that the council's decision has come to gathering militia members and shipping them up north.
Hmm. It seems the Councilman Redstream puts a great deal of faith in you. Yes, that is an accurate assessment. We are moving troops towards Maras in response to their trade embargo.
Now, I known you better part of my life, and I know you've been around in Bastion more generations than most people would be able to think. And your reputation, though I can imagine your relegation to this station as council member may be stifling of some of your talents. I can't help but consider if there were any councilman whose ear I could maybe bend. I thought General Greybelt, who has seen more bloodshed than most folks could ever walk away from, and certainly cares enough for the servicemen in his enlistment. I was wondering just how invested you personally might be in this negotiation.
I wish there were negotiation. Unfortunately, when news of what happened in Karakara hit Maras and hit Bastion, confirmed the events, that was the last we ever had negotiation with them. You know, they removed their ambassador
I
once they
heard.
found out.
Was that personally offensive to you?
No, of course not. Though it makes negotiation difficult when the other party not only doesn't take your audience, but doesn't listen to anything. Do you know how many delegations we've sent in the last 3 months?
Do tell.
24. Not a single one was given audience. Turned away.
I happen to have, from a certain inexplicable authority, information understanding that if we are to press Bastion militia onto Maras, they may be fighting on two fronts, and it is possible that the reason for the declining of delegates has more to do with their internal affairs than the explicit intention of splitting the continent. Not to mention the fugitive that me and my friends were able to return to the Arcanium. She explicitly desired to conjure an army of the undead with the intention of uniting this continent by force. because there is something that is coming from beyond this realm that wishes to take what this world has. And we've seen it. We've seen these things. And if we are fighting each other, if we are splitting our forces, if we are leaving the city of Bastion without its guard in any capacity, the heavens are going to come crashing down on us in a way we cannot stop.
He considers these words for a moment. You know, if it weren't for your service and your group's reputation and efficiency of action, I don't think I'd believe a damn thing that you just said to me. But you have proven yourselves effective time and again. Unfortunately, if there is a danger from outside this world, if we bring the militia back here and do nothing about the Marasi situation, how long do you think it will be before the economy begins to collapse? And when people stop being able to afford food, and when we're unable to supply the militia, unable to pay them, unable to feed them properly, you think they will stay and fight this outside enemy? Or will we collapse?
I fear for our people too. And for that reason, I do intend, me and my companions who, like you, know folks who are willing to listen for the better of their people, plan on speaking in Maras to whoever who may listen, whatever forces we may be able to pull.
Hmm.
You see, Umeli intended to take a force of unholy nature, crush the armies that resisted her, and fight back against invaders. But I have every reason to believe the more souls we have who can fight and stand for themselves and understand that they have allies at their back, Marasi, Bastion, whatever it may be, supernatural forces are not going to be able to clean this plane. Haven't yet, won't ever.
Well, I hope that is the case. But in the meantime, we have real present problems. You say you are heading to Maras to try to speak with someone.
We have some borrowed time.
Well, I
Not to
wish
be
you.
anyone there, you might know that you may be able to put in a good word for us with.
Unfortunately, our goodwill doesn't seem to carry much weight there. The hard truth of all of this There's always been tension between our cities, always been resentment. And this is not the first squabble we've had. This conflict has been coming. If you're able to prevent it from escalating, that would be a wondrous thing indeed. But remember, and make no mistake, Maras is engaging in warfare. They just didn't send an army. They are bleeding us and been doing it for 3 months.
I do
This-
understand. We'll find something. We'll find the peace we need.
I hope so.
I'm glad to know you are still the man I thought you were.
I do not wish for war between our two cities, but if it comes to it, I'll do what needs to be done to protect Bastion.
I nod, and I'll just quietly get up, offer a half salute, and leave.
As you get to the door and open it, you hear him, Catterfield.
Turn back.
Good luck to you. And may Lathander's light bless you.
And you. I'll probably head back home for whoever might be there.
Okay, cool. You head back to your place. In the meantime, what are Ember, Cal, Ragnarok, and Zol getting up to, and Genbert?
Tattoos.
Definitely not. I gotta go home to my parents soon. You're just gonna show up.
Is that any worse than dying? I feel like they should be past this.
Yes, you came back
Well-
from the other side with it.
While that is technically true, think of it from the you've just gone away to college for the first time and you're about to head home for the first break. That's about where Ember Prime is right now. With everybody having done their shopping and folks just heading off in different directions, Ember Prime is going to leave the restaurant that we were in to speak to the voice previously and just start wandering town. And after about 10 minutes, we'll stop and I will cast Sending to my dad.
Sure. Cool. Yeah, you can
Middle of
send
the
me a
street.
down.
I'm not even looking for anywhere private to go. She
Yeah.
just breaks out the small, what basically looks like an anvil charm on a steel chain. makes the gestures, says the words of power, and hey, Dad, what's going on with the trade embargo against Bastion? Any idea? They're moving troops towards Moras. This is serious. Have enough problems already.
Yeah, this new
One
tattoo's
spell slot
infected.
down.
I went swimming when I wasn't supposed to. That's all red.
Your father responds back, saying, honestly, I don't know anything about it. We're aware that there's been tension between with Bastion, but they're sending troops? How many?
I will use another spell slot. Let me do a quick edit here. No idea. Definitely a lot. My friends and I are heading from Ross in 2 days. Take a week to get there. See you soon. 5.
He responds back, saying, Stinku must be out of his mind to let it get this far. Troops? Get here as soon as you can. Take care of yourself.
Where in the hell am I? Following that, I think I will stop by since I did not eat at the actual lunch, Ember Prime will find somewhere to get a bunch of the worst kind of junk food she can get, like whatever the Bastion equivalent. I can't believe I almost said McDonald's instead of Arby's. Whatever.
Wow.
I will find the Bastion equivalent of that, and then I will head back to Rainier's.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of
I'm
like.
sure I will have
dogs.
to. No, I need sliders.
Yeah, there's all kinds of greasy food you can get.
Perfect.
And especially like along anywhere like along the harbor has a lot of those street market stalls for that sort of thing.
Excellent. I will buy 5 gold worth of junk food.
That's an insane amount.
That's a fucking
It
windfall.
really is. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay.
Not necessarily at one spot. Like I will stop at 10 different spots and just keep stocking up on my way back to Rainier's.
Okay,
can
not eating
distribute
it. You are
Yeah,
you
I'm
are
just collecting it at
gathering.
this
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
You've got like an armful of like churros, like a funnel cake, some like roasted, I don't know, fish
I
on
have a
stick.
turkey leg. That's
Yeah, giant turkey
impossible
leg.
to
Yeah.
avoid.
For sure. I mean, you have a couple cloth sacks full of food for 5 gold.
It's-
here.
Definitely dripping.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
There's
just a greasy mess in there.
Oh no.
Yeah, on your way when you finally get all of it and you're walking, you definitely take notice. Like there's like seagulls following you high in the sky. There's a couple of street dogs that are just lapping up the grease every now and then. It's like a real Pied Piper situation you got
It's
going on.
the Pied Piper of junk food.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you gather all that stuff. Easily done. I do know Ragnarok wanted to like talk go to the Slayers Guild. I remember you saying that to look for contracts.
Yes.
Stopping in there. What sort of contracts were you looking for?
What are my
Just
options?
like just what they had, or like
yeah.
Yeah.
Window
Okay.
shopping.
Cool. They have. There are a number of things. There are a couple local things. I mean, like they have. There's more than that. What'll be listed here, but it's like, well, that seems like too simple, right? Other people can take care of this, that kind of thing. The things that kind of stand out of like, okay, this will be more like appropriate for what it is that we're maybe looking for or even in the direction that you may be traveling in, right?
Yeah.
You see, there are two hunts, which are just go kill this giant monster, right?
Mhm.
There is a contract for there's a contract for a hydra has been spotted along the river to the north of the Mistmire Bog. Slay the beast to keep any nearby settlements safe. That is has a 4,000 gold bounty on it. Quite dangerous. That to offer that much money, quite dangerous.
Mm.
The second hunt that they have here, uh, it's it's a large purse, which means it's even more dangerous. Something that you may not even want to consider, but is available. Um, it is a huge monstrosity has been seen hunting near the crossroads of Karakara and Maras. Slay the beast to keep Adari safe. This is hunting a Juraskar, which is the monster that left the giant footprints you guys found way back when, that you fled when someone understood what it was. It's like a bigger than a T-Rex kind of monster.
Uh-huh.
That's a 7,000 gold bounty.
Jeez.
There is also the standing bounty to kill the black dragon deep in the heart of the Mistmire Bog. That's 10,000 gold. Which no people have attempted and nobody has come back. The previous head of the Slayer stronghold was killed by that dragon. Requests for assistance. The Bramblethorn Farm, northwest of Bastion, about 2 days north. They're requesting assistance at their farm. It's 500 gold plus. Looks like the farm will be offering additional rewards. It just says looking for assistance. There's a small commune of wood elves. They're seeking help with gnoll attacks. That's about 6 days travel out. Kind of northwest. That's 1,000 gold plus local reward. And then the town of Strathmore is requesting help with some dark magic happening there. There's a contact of sea contact Darla Day. That's roughly 4 days out, offering 750 gold for their reward. These here, the all three of those requests are to the northern side of Bastion, like heading out into the wild. So if you were heading to Maras, some of these could be done on the way, should you choose.
Okay. And these are basically like little pamphlets that I could just take. It's not like if I take it, I have to do it kind of deal.
Yeah, you can take it. You
Yeah.
can, if you choose to, take on the request, and you complete it. You bring back the pamphlet to any of the
Yeah.
representatives of the stronghold. That each of the pamphlets are enchanted to do the truth check of did you actually do
Yeah.
this or not. Others also can take up the same work as well.
Yeah.
So these might not always be here.
I will take the Hydra and the 3 assists.
Cool. Very good.
And then I'll head back to the group.
All right. Anything else anybody wishes to accomplish on this day?
Left alone with Cal, Zal is definitely gonna look down and say, "So what do you typically do on a day off as a hero?"
Cal slams a shot and does the ale chaser. This.
Hey, just drinking.
I mean, you don't have to be so literal about it. Carousing.
He slams a shot.
Some cavorting. If you're lucky, some canoodling.
Where does everybody spread out immediately often?
No, I don't think so. But we have been gone for some time, although it didn't feel that way to us, but apparently we have. So people have things and
I have been meaning to ask, where were you exactly?
well, it's a difficult question to answer. We were in a different plane that was exceptionally strange. Many very, very tall buildings and lots of shiny boxes that were moving around quite fast, contained people. Um, we were only there for really 2 days, one evening. But apparently that plane's movement is significantly different than this one. So by the time we got back, 3 months had passed.
I see. And if this is not too forward, what did you feel about that place?
I felt it best we leave there as quickly as possible.
So,
What?
in a word, trepidation.
So you could have canceled.
Sure. I mean, imagine being in a place in an instant, being awaking in a place where nothing looks familiar, not the landscape, nor the buildings, nor the people, nor its customs. Nothing matches with what any of your experience tells you living in a world is like. And look, I dare say I've got some experience with reality getting strange from time to time, but the solidity of this particular excursion, not ashamed to admit it, shook me even a little bit. Happy to be back. And apparently everyone else is happy we're back. Isn't that right, Gimbert?
Absolutely. It's been. I mean, things have been weird, since you guys were gone. I mean, there's others like. I mean, there's like other groups that are kind of like you all. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Castaways, but um, you guys are. I don't know. I just think the fifth season's like the best.
Are you
You
suggesting we
saved it
need to
at the
murder
end
the
there.
castaways, Gambit?
No.
Oh, just checking. We value
I
your
would-
opinion here in the fifth season.
I would not say that the castaways are of a similar capacity for world-changing event adjacency.
That's kind of you to say, I guess, but I'm much more in this moment interested in capacity for alcohol consumption. Gambit, have you thought about where you're getting that tattoo?
I was I mean, it's a okay. If we're doing like the full portrait thing, then right, then I need a lot of space,
portrait.
right? So, I mean, if it's on my back, then I can't see it, right? So, I mean, it's got to be the front.
But you still will not be able to see it, though.
Well, no,
Well, I mean, if I look,
Your neck is not long enough to.
well, look, he'll get it on the front and he'll get it upside down. So when he looks down, there will all be, and he can see us.
hell yeah.
Is not the worst idea, I suppose. Gimbert, I've been meaning to ask you, how many weeks have you been waiting for the fifth season?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't, I mean, I've been waiting for them to come back as long as anybody.
Right. You didn't see me while you were inconspicuously pacing outside of the last recorded residence.
I don't know if pacing is the word I would use. I mean, I just sort of, swung by
Mm-hmm.
in my free time.
I suppose I was not much better, as I did from time to time simply set up a chair.
Oh yeah, chair guy.
I was playing. It's not important.
I actually have a question. Cal Lawunax, Clef Tintliar.
You
Um,
almost made it.
You, it appears to me that in the luncheon that we had, that you had engaged my services, that you have hired me from my previous job, and I think that's fantastic. I don't know what it is you want me to do, and also, am I how much am I being paid?
I will press 5 platinum into his hand.
Saul's eyebrows visibly rise.
Oh, I don't know. It just seemed like your talents were being wasted working for the council. And as has become evident, sometimes when we go away, we're away for longer than we anticipated. It seems like having someone on staff to handle our business here in Bastion is an important part of being a functioning organization. Don't you think, Embert?
I don't think Amber's there. I think it's just the three of you. Right.
No, I said
Or-
Gembert.
Oh, Gembert. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Sounded
No worries.
sounded. I heard Ember.
Just talking too
Um,
fast.
Just talking too fast. He's like still staring at the platinum in his hand, and kind of looks up at you and says, "Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you need laundry?"
Far be it from me to suggest, as I am not a member of the fifth season, but a reasonable starting place may be the lawn situation at the residence of. Like scratches the back of his neck.
I mean, I do a lot of the house chores at my parents' place, so I
Right.
mean, yeah, whatever you, whatever you guys need.
Wonderful. Yes, we'll start with keeping up the fifth season headquarters, which right now happens to also be Rainier's household. So, yeah, and uh, actually, you already know where that is, so you're already ahead of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Is that really the headquarters?
Yeah, he sort of beat me to that question. I figured that was just, last known location. You had some secret hideout somewhere where you do
Oh,
your planning.
they definitely have a secret hideout.
I mean,
For
right, yeah,
sure. I
right.
mean, like, there's no way they would just all be sleeping in there all the time together. That'd be crazy.
I'm told there was some odors from the yard from time to time, but I assumed that was vagrant or.
No, that was actually Mr. Marskim, a very talented alchemist.
The smells were. Huh.
Saul,
Mm-hmm.
do watch your tongue when you're talking about Merv, please.
I did not mean to offend. Word of the Moshskim fellow is conflicting and somewhat confusing. I assumed he was some scholar of some sort with his contributions, but to hear him associated with distinctive odor is a shock.
Well, he has chosen to take some time for himself. So why don't we all respect that?
Yeah, he nods and does the like zip the lips. Conspicuously like closes his book.
Very well. Let's move this drinking back to the public headquarters of the fifth season. Let's I don't know, get a hand cart and a keg, take it back to Rainier's.
That sounds awesome.
That does sound enjoyable. You are both vastly more and vastly different than I expected. I must say I am delighted.
Well, with any luck, I will never stop surprising.
Also, I've been meaning to ask as a new recruit, as it were, to this illustrious group, or perhaps a recruit in training. Is there any interpersonal conflict I should be aware of? Any landmines to avoid?
Oh, well, I'd be the wrong person to ask. My general attitude towards personal landmines is step on them, and that sort of ends the situation right there.
I'm inclined to agree most often. I just, with less social capital amongst the group, like yourself, did not want to offend so soon.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be fine. Just use that sharp eye and sharp wit. Now, let's get this keg and a handcart, and along the way, Sol, why don't you tell me about all of the various bits of literature that you've written that I should become familiar with?
I may be disappointing you. I'm perhaps better to call an amateur creator of stories, more of a collector.
Gembert leaps up and says, "I'm on it," and helps gather to get a keg, get a cart, and he wheels the cart behind the two of you as you make your way through town.
Yeah, wonderful. I'll pick up a sleeve of red Solo cups and start drinking on the porch.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Zalt definitely plays the violin like on the way. Specifically, like as people are looking, like just sort of reveling in the attention, like very clearly, like basking in it.
Excellent. Anything else anybody wishes to accomplish this evening? Hell yeah. A soiree is had for those who wish to participate. Do you guys try to get Genbert real fucked up, or do you let him like kind of like pace himself during all this?
I am doing nothing to encourage Gembert towards excess.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah,
to keep this kid alive, I think, and healthy. He just
My-
arrived and he's on my lawn.
Am I invited?
Yeah,
Yeah?
of course.
Why?
If
Well, yeah,
so,
of course.
Zal will totally volunteer as new guy to be the spotter for the boy.
Yeah. Okay. A soiree is had. Music, drinks, laughter. Genbert gets a little spiced, but not too bad. As the evening wears late, he confides to you all how much he loves each and every one of you. I love you, man. I love you guys so much. You're my heroes. And he does leave to go back to his place, however, as he does not pass out in your lawn.
That's good.
He
There's not enough
manages to
beds
go
in this
home.
make
house for the
sure-
people we currently have here.
I've been meaning to
Ember
ask. Should I,
Prime will
Just-
make sure he gets home. She will
Okay,
escort
cool.
him home.
Cool, yeah. I mean, he lives in East Bastion, so it's a bit of a walk, but no trouble along the way.
I've been meaning to ask. Should I sleep in the yard or should I go get a room somewhere?
Oh, I mean, all right. We got
I can
two rooms. There's two bigger beds. There's a couch.
I can
fucking,
bend and
gotta-
fold pretty substantially in order to sort of fit wherever you need me to be.
I mean, we don't need to we don't need to make it uncomfortable. It's just gonna be a little cramped. So we got bedrolls over on the there. We can make it work. Just clap you on the shoulder.
Yeah, he just like toothy smile as he's like, and is there anybody in the group who has a particular dislike of any musical accompaniment or styles of music or
I think we all like someone who can carry a tune.
do you have a stool I could sit on? I mean, I could stand as well.
We got chairs. There's a couple chairs of the. Here you go.
Yeah, he drags the chair into the corner, like sits down, pulls out his like violin and starts playing what's very clearly like intended to be like soft background music. Though it is pretty obvious that he is watching the room, like, very conspicuously and not particularly paying attention to his playing.
So where you come from?
Oh, Karakara, initially. Grew up there, I should say.
Where were you there when it fell in, or
I was in
on the road?
Maras.
And what brought you out here?
Well, first I traveled to Karakara, and the accounts there were perplexing to say the least. When the garrison, well, I should say, when the aid arrived from Bastion with your name on their lips, it was, well, it gave me a direction to travel, to maybe get to the bottom of some of the things that had been happening.
Did you farm here? Farm mentioned seeing things. Uh, you get any strange dreams or visions since the city fell?
He gets, like, visibly, like, excited and is like, I must confess, I did not think, to hear the word dreams from your mouth is uh, important to me, I should say. Indeed, I have had the dreams, and several of some importance to me. Have you had, have the fifth season had the dreams as well?
I guess this is a point of clarification. We had all of that like insight blasted into us right away. Have we been having dreams, Sean?
Though we never like taken time to describe it, it's very reasonable for each of you to have experienced, different dreams of different kinds. Um, related to it. The a vision of the monolith. An overwhelming, pressure presence. Um, a song in your mind that is like you don't know that you're humming it until you occasionally are like, oh shit. But like very very subtle, and it would be honestly up to your character to choose how much of that like would have happened to you, right? Because a lot of that was kind of you were so close to the events, to the exposure of it. That could be it, or if you choose it to be a bigger part of your character. Either way.
Hmm. I'll just kind of give him a look to Zal in acknowledgement. Just a non-verbal yes.
He nods. Noted. It is not an unknown phenomenon among some of the, but they are not the same dream often. Disjointed, different.
Hmm.
What are those dreams related to the thing that floats above Karakara?
Presumably, it's a artifact of ancient arcane power, and contact with it has resulted in insight to a time before our time. And some folks, as powerful as that item is, even very, very far away, have been touched by its misfiring.
Do you say they are from the past?
The ancient magic of this realm is older than any of our history, and pieces of it remain, have been puzzled over by arcanists and scholars for Lord knows how long. It's just one of those pieces.
He nods. You could see his hand like reflexively reach for like his book, but like stop itself because he'd have to like drop the violin. I will. Do you have any questions? Any further questions for me? Because I could, quite frankly, ask questions of you forever, perhaps, and still not have sufficient answers.
Mm. Kind of just smirks and takes a little glass of whiskey and sits down. Doesn't really make full eye contact with you, but just kind of ends that the questioning.
Yeah, he smiles, like reaches one long arm over to like pat your knee, and then just goes back to playing.
Cool. Excellent. Ember, on your way back from making sure that Gembert is safely at home, you're walking through the city. Um, the city's still bustling at this time of night. Not as much during the day, but I mean, its population is like 1.7, 1.8 times its normal. So there's still a fair amount of people, going about. Um, some people in, deep in libations, others just seemingly walking the city, maybe just like yourself. You get the feeling of being watched as you're moving through the city.
Hmm. How far am I from either the Quintuple C headquarters or from Rainier's place?
You're like halfway between East and West Bastion right now. So you're kind of near the center of the city. Um, so I mean, at a run, half hour.
That is probably more running than I think Ember Prime feels like doing at this time of night. So at some point she will just duck into a side street and put her back up against the wall and do her best to just not really hide, but just wait there nonchalantly.
Yeah, for sure. um, you see people passing by the street. You see three cloaked individuals kind of walk around like the area of where you were before you ducked out. And you see they all kind of face each other. Based on like the shifting of their bodies, it seems like they're talking to one another. They kind of all nod and then just break out into three different directions.
Wait, before they do that, I will use my last third level spell slot to upcast a hold person on two of them.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
Here we go. Casting at level 3, cast spell. I was hoping that would pop up the spell DC, but I think my DC is 16.
16, yeah, okay. 1 success. Two success, 1 failure. You catch one of them.
Okay, I was only targeting 2 of them to begin with, so
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what order those saves were made in.
Then you still catch one of them.
Okay. And given that has both verbal and somatic components, I am definitely revealed to them, so I assume the others do not go running off.
The others don't go running off. They're about to break away, and then the one is like standing still. So they seem to be like, one of them reaches out and is like, hey, obviously trying to get the one's attention. You see the other kind of looks in the direction where you are. We can say for this that although like they hear something in that direction, like they're not quite sure like what is happening and where you are currently. But like one of them is definitely like looking into that dark alleyway.
Yeah, I will step out. Hey! What you want? Your friend's not going anywhere for a while.
Little late to be walking alone in the city. Ember.
That's Ember Prime to you, shithead. I'm sorry, that might be rude. I don't even know who you are. Who are you? I'm sorry. I'm just assuming you're not good.
Oh,
Well,
I'm just
following somebody through the streets. There's an awful lot of people here.
Oh, I'm what you would call a fan of yours.
Okay, the way, and be honest, the way you say that does not really sound great. Anyway, nice to meet you. Gonna go home now. Wait for your friend. It'll be a minute.
You see like they just kind of like move just to like they block you a little bit but don't like engage closer to you. They say, "You've been gone for a while. The 5th season has been gone for a while. Maybe you should go back to where you were from, hmm? Leave this city."
Yeah, guess what? That's actually the plan. So, congrats on wasting a night, I guess. Idiot.
Good. I shall look forward to your departure. You see their bodies shift as they break out of the spell. They are like, they turn to like face you, but they're not pulling weapons. They're not engaging with you in combat at the moment. What is it that you are doing?
I'm gonna do the thing where you push past them and like purposefully bump into them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 15 strength and in chainmail. Get the fuck out of my way.
yeah. You bump into them. They let you pass. They don't make an attempt to stop you.
I will head back to
Okay.
Rainier's.
You do not feel like you are followed for the remainder of your journey.
Walk about 2 blocks, turn a corner, take off running. Okay, who's up? We got some people who are really, really not happy with us somehow. Want us out. Maybe just me. Who knows? I don't know.
What do you
You
mean?
alright?
You can't been paid for the cake.
What? No, this somebody the 3-5 seasons was gone for a long time. Maybe they should be gone again.
That is less specific than you might hope.
Well, there were 3 of them. They were in cloaks. I didn't really see their faces. They didn't try to kill me or anything, but Not
Are you
everybody
alright?
is yeah, I'm fine. Not everybody's a Gembert level fan, it would seem. Gembert? Yeah, Gembert. Yeah, he made it home safe, by the way. This was all after I dropped him off. I don't think they were following me when I was walking him home. Just a heads up, since we're going to be here for 2 more days.
Well, that's a real shame.
Is the boy going to be safe when you leave him here?
Oh no, that's exactly
Yeah, I
what I
don't
was
think they.
talking about.
Well, I don't think they know about him, so I'm think he'll be fine. Like I said, they weren't following me on the way to drop him off. At least I don't. I'm very sure that they were not.
But they might know about him if he begins doing housework here.
I guess maybe, yeah.
Well, that seems like a tomorrow problem.
I'll be on watch outside.
Ember Prime, what is your favorite song?
I don't know right off the top of my head. I'll give it some thought.
Right, you give it some thought, and then if I do not know it, you can teach it to me. But if I know it, I will play it for you.
Yeah, yeah. I will do that.
Okay. A watch is taken.
I anticipate being up all night. I don't think anyone is going to be interested in taking watches.
Yeah, Ember Prime will definitely be in the watch cycle. She's still a little weirded out.
Are you gonna do that like do you want me to wake you up, or are you two like up?
She'll probably be up for a little while now.
Okay. We can hang out for a while, but I'll do my best to encourage you to go to sleep when like it gets late. I've got my crossbow lit and I'm sitting on the porch like a fucking old man with a shotgun.
All right. Some watches are had.
I probably could have taken all 3 of them, but I was worried that something happened. You know, I'm out there. No one knows exactly where I am.
No, you did the right thing.
Also, I figured picking a fight and lighting somebody on fire in the middle of the street, you know, the whole hero. What is it? Gambert calls us something of Bastion.
Uh,
Whatever. That can only go so far.
Not to mention, and I hate to point it out, but you are Marasi, and we are dealing with what appears to be a fairly heated social conflict.
Yeah, I messaged my dad. He doesn't really know what's going on, although he mentioned the what was that word?
The Sinku, which
Sinku.
is that's the term for leader in Miraz.
Ember Prime does do exactly what I just did before she actually does settle on Kintu. I don't know, it just wasn't important to me. I was baking and hitting metal with a hammer.
Hmm. Well, maybe we can have some luck with your father and
We probably will have better luck through my mom. I mean, she does run the mine, so
I think you got us connected well enough.
yeah, we'll figure it out when we get there. All right, it's been a couple hours. I'm out. Don't
Yeah.
stay up all night. Wake somebody else up.
Yep.
Make the new guys do their part.
Sure thing. I do not do that.
Gotta harass the new guys in the spirit of Merv.
um, the evening passes uneventfully.
Make
Everybody
it
takes
sound
a
like
long
Merv is dead.
Yeah, you do.
everybody completes their long rest. You have one. You have 1 day until the speech and the at the council building. Is there anything anybody wishes to accomplish on this day?
Listen, is anybody interested in trying to get a real fancy meal?
Ember
What
Prime
do you have
looks
in
at
mind?
the pile of leftovers of her leftover fast food.
I mean, like preposterously fancy.
Okay, do you have a specific plan in mind? Is that why you're asking us?
Yes, I want to know if I need to insist my parents give us a dinner party before we go away to Morass.
Wait, didn't you say they already offered like before we went chasing?
Well, they
Really?
Something about
did.
coming back alive.
They did, but I'm not sure they know that we're going to be leaving for Morass in a day. So that's what I'm saying. If we'd
Oh.
like to have a nice fancy dinner party, then I'll just let them know we're having it tonight and they need to throw it together.
Sure. It
Very
would,
well.
I'm sure, be lovely to see your family again.
Under different circumstances, I think. Better than the last time. I mean.
Ah, I see. Ragnarok, what say you?
I'm down.
Wonderful. And Farm and Zal, this will be your first opportunity to meet.
Yes. I love
Delighted.
Very well. I'll start screaming for Gambert.
You see his head pops up at the window, and he has dirt and like grass stains on his clothing, and he has like clippers in his hand. Yeah,
Good man, put those clippers down.
What the
Come
fuck
in.
is he doing?
He is doing a marvelous job, is what he is doing.
I need you to go to this address, tell them that the 5th season is leaving on a very important mission to Morass tomorrow, and that they need to, I know it's last minute, but they need to throw together a dinner party for this evening so that they can meet the newest members of the 5th season. I'll look Gambert up and down. That also will not do. They'll make you sit outside if you wear that. So here, take this, and I'll press another platinum into his hand.
Oh, also Gambert, don't fuck with the lawn. Just don't bother. Honestly.
Oh. Well, I mean, I thought I was gonna kind of take care of things for you all, like an assistant.
I don't know who mentioned that, but this is my house. This is my father's house.
Yes, we're warming up to new duties and new responsibilities. But right now, Gambit, your responsibility is go to my family home, inform them they're having a dinner party and on the way back, make sure you get yourself something nice so you don't show up to the dinner party looking like a vagabond.
If
Something
they ask,
nice.
perhaps tell them that you are Cal's understudy.
Well, he's got the note in my hand, and see, I signed it right here. And if anyone gives you grief, ask for Rupert or Rufus. Don't know who's working today.
Rupert Rufus. Okay, sure. And sorry about the lawn.
No worries.
You see, drops the clippers and heads off in the direction of where your parents are.
I presume then we should all be taking care to dress appropriately if we're headed back to the estate.
Oh, fancy shopping! Fancy clothes shopping! Last time I did this, I was kind of blitzed, so I don't remember getting to do it.
I'm pretty sure you weren't shopping. I think you were stealing.
No, I definitely left money.
Ember, does that mean does that mean day drinking? Do we need to get blitzed again? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want to be able to remember it this time.
Oh, my apologies.
It was the big festival at Karakara, so I was, I woke up in someone else's clothes, so I left a couple gold pieces. That's all I'm saying.
It was a wonderfully wide-brimmed hat you were wearing.
All right. Sounds like you guys head out to get some purchase some fancy clothes. Besides picking out fancy clothes for the evening, anything
Anything actually important we do?
Yeah, and like, is there anything besides that you guys want to accomplish on this day?
I'm going to look into some costly components, and then I will just bring that up as soon as I have it collated.
Sure. Fine clothes for those that need to purchase some. 15 gold pieces.
Oh, this is all definitely spends 20.
I was gonna say,
Like a petticoat, like a proper hat, cloak.
All black, baby. All black suit, black shirt. It's a tight fit.
It's a
Okay,
very
Roy
tight
Kent.
fit.
Yeah, that's actually yes.
Yeah. Channeling. I want to know about Ember's fit, Ted.
oh God. Me too, Cody. Me too.
Ember's fit last time was very powerful with Ember's vacation fit.
I will come up with something and get back to you.
I'm personally interested if Firm goes shopping with us and if this is something that takes their fancy.
He looks for things that match his hair color and his tattoo color. So like all
Ooh.
the belts, the belts, the scarf, and what else would there be? I'd say like socks. Do we wear socks in this time? I feel like they have socks.
Probably, so you don't
yes?
get
Probably-
blisters.
They're probably not
Yeah.
comfy, but
They're
Okay.
probably wool socks.
yeah.
He tries to get
People have
them
been knitting for a
usable.
very long ass time.
Yeah.
So he tries to get like those things in his hair color, so like a off white, but sort of bright at the same time, and then
All white.
just the accents,
That's
Off-white.
fresh.
and then he tries to get a sort of suit or a top and bottom piece that match in like a all leather black with white trim stitching.
That's fresh.
It's fucking fresh.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm definitely going to invest in is some powdered silver.
Oh, good idea.
Mm.
Because that is the
Incredible.
component for the ceremony spell.
Ceremony spell, my beloved.
Actually, at some point during this shopping for clothes, Zal would probably ask if there's anything you should know about adventuring gear, like things to go buy. He's like, I have rations and a lantern.
Oh,
Do
see,
I
this
know-
I know about.
Okay, do you want to cover that on the way or tomorrow before we leave?
I'm sure we have time to we can stop at a merchant's shop and I'll
Yeah.
point out a gear bag for you, kind of thing.
Yeah, you have all day to take care of all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the cost of diamonds has escalated as spell components. Is that true of all gems or just diamonds?
It is currently true of all kind of that mineral material. Like the silver would cost extra as well. Just
Shit.
like it's been now 2 months of this scarcity, so like one, it's even
Got
hard
it.
to find someone that's selling it. And then when
Okay,
you
then I will
do,
not pick
it's
that up
pricey.
yet.
Yeah.
I will wait.
Do you need money for
Oh no, I've got the money. It's the principle.
Yeah.
I'm from a mining town. I'm not doing this shit.
we have to take a week to get there though.
Yeah, well, hopefully I don't have to marry anybody in that week.
Love that fucking spell.
There is some other stuff like incense and sacrificial appropriate offerings for like augury or divination that I would.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is fine, but like jewels, like mineral goods, like those kind of things, the prices skyrocketed on.
Gotcha. All right.
Fan, go on.
Go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna fast forward to the dinner. If there's
Okay.
nothing anybody else needs to do.
Nothing that I can think of.
Cool. Yeah, you all get fancy clothes, some minor tailoring, required for it, but for the amount that you're paying, that sort of thing isn't too much of an issue for these higher clientele sort of soirees. You head over to Cal's parents' place, and as you are arriving, you see there are like rows of carriages of people arriving to a dinner party that has been requested. Um, Without more specific instructions, your parents didn't plan a party for you, they just threw a party. So there are all sorts of guests of high honor here. Mostly everybody here. I mean, they're all dressed to the nines. These would be people like the upper echelon of people in Bastion. You see Rupert and Rufus are standing at attention at the main door, welcoming people in. You see, they give you all your entire group very deep bows and compliment your each of your dress. They look at you, Cal, and they say, "Cal, it's so good to see you again. You've been gone for a long time."
I give them both giant hugs and kisses, and I'm sort of crawling all over both of them. Oh, it's wonderful to see you. It's so great to be back.
Yeah, you feel like your spine crack in a few places as they give you big hugs as well. They say your parents were very excited to hear your request for a get together. Hopefully, we were able to throw this together to your satisfaction.
Well, I'm sure that everything will be up to snuff. It's just wonderful to see everyone dressed to the nines and to be welcome back home again.
They gesture for you to enter in as there's still people arriving behind all of you. You walk through the main foyer. Your people, there's waiters and waitresses walking by with hors d'oeuvres and drinks on trays, and you're brought to the grand ballroom of Cal's parents' house. A very large, ostentatious space. There's a high ceiling with a large chandelier, and you see there's the second story balcony kind of wraps around this from up above, and you see there's some people up there looking down at the guests as well. Um, most most of you all don't recognize like any of the people here. Cal, you recognize a few of the families and faces that you haven't seen in a while, or like, oh, they grew up, oh, they got fat, they got old, they got hot, that sort of thing. Um, uh, Collectively, though, you do see that the head of the Merchants Alliance is actually in attendance here. They are a council member that is Imrodel Eleneth, a older half elf gentleman with a kind of rough chocolatey skin, just shy of 6 foot, with some wavy gray hair and blue eyes. Um, uh, as he catches eyes with you all, he kind of just raises a glass and nods in your direction of acknowledgement to your arrival. Um, you hear an exclamation, a voice rising through the crowd, breaking through it. Woony, is that you? And your mother breaks through the crowd with arms open wide. She has a elegant dress, beautiful jewels on, and her scales glittering in the light. She rushes forward to give you a hug and a kiss.
Of course, Mother. Wonderful to see you again. You remember Ember and Rainier? I'm so sorry. You remember Ember Prime and Rainier and Ragnarok?
Yes, yes, yes. So good to see you all. Um, I'm very excited that you decided to throw a party, but I heard you're leaving. You just returned, I hear.
Hero's work is never done. And similarly, Hero's ranks are never static. Allow me to introduce our newest companions. This is Zhao, and this is Firmament, and this here is our squire, Gambit.
Ah, the messenger. And you see Gembert. Gembert is looking extremely slick tonight. You've seen him
Yeah.
basically in like mundane page clothes. Early this morning, he was covered in dirt. Gembert looks like it's like when the camera pans to him, it's like he looks like it's like a James Bond reveal, right? Like just debonair.
Hell yeah.
Zal sweeps like a very deep bow and then nudges Firm with his elbow.
He gives him a side eye, and as like he wouldn't expect him not to know this, and he using his left hand pulls up the scarf so it doesn't hang down and give like a distasteful look, and then bows with his right hand.
It's a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances. Any friend of Cal is a friend of ours.
At the sight of debonair Gambit, for the briefest moment, Cal's knees buckle, and he has to catch himself on Rainier.
You see Gembert say, do you want me to get you all drinks or anything?
I think you can enjoy the party, Gambert.
Oh,
Yes, of course. Please enjoy the party, but yes, get me a cocktail as well.
you got it. He heads off. He's always on the job. He's always on the job.
Second, he's
Um,
like walking off. Zal like leans down to be better heard by the group. It's like he cleans up quite nicely for a understudy slash squire slash page slash intern.
What?
Told you he's a
What?
nice kid.
What, you think so? Oh, I hadn't noticed.
Zal gets like side eyes Cal.
Is it warm in here?
No.
Well, please, enjoy yourselves. Cal sort of trails off and then says, listen, at the risk of making things very, very weird, you see that spot up there? And he points to the sort of iron railing up on the second floor overlooking the big ballroom. Says, it was right there about 15 years ago when I first saw Umeli. It was a party much like this. She walked right in, was the toast of the town. I'll always remember all those hands fanned out like a peacock's tail. It was extraordinary. But we've got her in an arcane cell, so I guess job well done. Where's my drink? Oh, is it hot in here?
Gambert might need help with them. Why don't you go and track him down?
Excellent idea. I head off in what is clearly the opposite direction that Gambert walked off in.
Is there anything anybody like wants to like specifically do at a fancy party here?
Firm wants to
There's-
go try and inspect the people's kitchen.
Yeah,
Ooh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you walk around, you see you see where the servants are coming in and out of, right? Clear they have like the indoor, the outdoor, right? You see them heading in. It whips open for a moment, and you see the sound, like you see the glint and of metal. You see the sound of chopping and the steam in the air for a brief second before the door closes, and you head right in that direction. Nobody stops you as you step inward. As you open the door, you see there's a team of cooks and chefs and servants in here. There's all manner of dishes being prepared, orders being barked out. There's meats, vegetables. You see another team on an opposite side of the kitchen are working on like preparing the desserts for later on in the evening as well. You see one of the servants like collects things on a tray and like stands up and turns, sees you, and goes, "Oh, can I help you with anything, sir?"
No. I just like you guys, I assume. I have a love for cooking and wanted to see what was being done in here.
Oh,
That was
well, oh, you're welcome to observe or taste, sample as you wish.
Okay, I appreciate that. And then he's looking to see if there's anybody who has like an arrogance to them.
Yeah, I mean there's like clearly like the head chef here. The house chef as it is, and they are they're the one essentially barking out, and you can see like they're the captain of this ship. They're organizing everything, trying to make sure everything is coming out when it's supposed to. It's a kind of a Gordon Ramsay flavor to it all.
Yes. Okay. He takes note of it, and he doesn't want to ruin people's moments with food, so he waits until he waits to come back and just go up to the captain or the person in charge, and at that point he'll have questions of like, what do they do, how are they running the show, but not while there's food being ran.
Yeah.
He just wanted to point out who it was in
Okay.
charge.
Yeah. Sure. You figure like as like everybody's kind of here and rushing, right? Like this rush will last for a little while, but there'll be a lull probably in like an hour. As like main meals are set out for everybody and that sort of thing. Um, if you like, we can just fast forward right to that interaction for you, right?
Oh no! For that hour, he was going to go out and get drunk.
Okay, no problem. Let's still take care of it while it's happening, lest I forget about it. So, during that time, you take in some drinks, and you notice that there's a lull in the service. You know how these things would kind of move. Now would be the time if you were to have any.
He's not wobbly stumbly yet, but he is like having to slow his walk, because if he walks too fast, he may fall. But he makes his way back in there to and looks for the guy in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you can see he seems to be just kind of like relaxing with a few, with his sous chef, just speaking about how the menu went this evening. They seem to be just like talking shop with one another.
Firm comes busting in, not like absurdly, but comes in and he's like, "It looks like you guys had it in for you today."
They turn and look at you. It was a tough service, but we managed to get it all done. What was your favorite part?
While twirling his glass, he's like, "This."
Ah, yes. Well, we've had several wines imported for this evening, as well as a selection from the cellar below.
Ooh. And then as after knowing it, he sort of smirks and he's like, "So I assume you're the one that's in charge. You made the whole menu."
He kind of stands up and, that's right.
Ooh. What do you say? I am something of a chef myself. Uh I don't even know what that means. He's like, "What do you say? I myself am something of a chef. We you see Can I learn stuff from you? Let's see if there's something you can teach me."
Oh, a challenge, is it?
Challenge, moments to learn, however you view it.
You don't look like much of a chef.
And then he's like, Really? Okay." He sets aside his scarf and folds it up neatly and sets it off to the side so it won't be anywhere near food, and then rolls his cuffs. And then the look of anything with the look of he was giving off as being like a walking drunk. He catches himself and firms up. Not meant to put on words, but yeah, he stiffens. He no longer has like the loose drunkenness to him, and he summons his chef's knife.
Okay. You see, there's like whistles from the service in here, and the chef looks at you. Okay, all right. Normally guests don't come back here for this sort of thing, so I don't mind teaching you a few lessons.
If you can, I'm not gonna doubt it, but I wouldn't be surprised if. Yes, he can. I wouldn't be surprised if you are the one that happens to learn something today.
Well, why don't we start off with something easy? Smoked quail drizzled with pomegranate reduction.
Ooh,
sided with a tofu mango mousse pudding.
yes, we can do that.
You have like a
Um,
generator for this, Sean? Are you generating fancy? That was
How many
fucking
of those words
crazy.
did you just randomly
Yeah,
throw
wow.
together?
I feel like
Or was
the
that
first
like
thing he said was something I feel like I've heard
Damn.
out of a TV show.
I had what caught me off guard for a
Duck
second
Pen.
was that Sean said that. Not like he had
Yeah.
like to think of it. He just knew
No.
it.
Yeah.
Look, while you were talking, I used Google. Okay, look, a little peek behind the curtain of DMing.
While you were studying D&D, I was studying cooking.
Oh, this is great.
Cool. You see, I mean, this is like, it's like a fucking Master Chef. The servants all grab and set out the ingredients. One of them grabs a big, sand timer and then just turns it over, and you all are off to the races here. We're gonna make some chef's tools checks.
I am almost positive before we do that I get advantage. I gain Yes, I do gain proficiency and advantage on ability checks to make or prepare ingredients.
Okay, very good.
That's crazy.
As you are challenging. This is no like home cook, right? Like this, clearly this is luxurious food by a master chef that knows what they're doing. So the DC, there'll be 3 DCs to make,
Okay.
each one higher than the next, right?
Okay.
So initial prep work, fairly easy. It's a 15 DC.
Do any of us witness this?
Why would we be in the kitchens?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Like, is somebody come out and go, they're about to have a cook-off? Like, that's something fucking crazy to happen.
Fuck yeah,
Somebody,
Firm.
wow.
This is wonderful.
Oh yeah. I mean, not really, right? Because like the servant, they would never go bother all the rich people with any of this nonsense, right?
This is like an internal affair.
Yeah,
for
like
them.
like Firm is like, hey, I'm one of you guys. Let's throw down.
Everyone else is was having a good time. Firm's having a great time. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Firm is living out some form of cooking devil went down to Georgia scenario.
All right. You see the chef turns in the middle of his prep work and he looks at you and goes, "Not bad. Well done. And I see your glaze is coming along nicely."
Very nicely.
Okay. Second check is DC 18.
Ooh. Made it.
Oh.
Okay. You're pulling the quail out of the oven, getting your reduction working down. The smell of these cooked birds are just wafting in the kitchen here. You look over and you see Chef. He's sweating a little bit. It looks over to you and be like, "It's not bad, not bad at all."
Oh yes.
Doing the final touches to the main entree and finishing out the tofu mango mousse pudding. It's DC 20 to finish out.
Oh.
With
Yes.
the nat 20, 26.
God damn.
Not only do you finish before him, right? You complete and dress the meal. Your plating and presentation, it's not just that you made the dessert, but you broke the dessert down into a new experience. And side by side, Like all the staff is like standing around in the circle, looking at these two plated dishes, yours and his. And the chef's looking at yours, is looking at his. He goes, "All right, final test, the
Ooh.
tasting." You exchange plates. You taste his.
Wonderful aroma, the flavor, the way it makes my taste buds invigorate. They're dancing. This is lovely.
He nods. I expect nothing less. Thank you very much. And you see,
With like
a
a
go-
cockiness, Firm like slides the plate a little bit closer with like a side eye.
he takes a bite of the bird. You can see like the fork pauses in his mouth for a moment, pulls it out. It's magnificent. The- I didn't think you could balance these flavors in such a manner. He reaches out with a spoon, takes up a bit of your pudding. You see just tears begin coming rolling down his face as he tastes your tofu mango mousse. He sets the spoon down, looks at you, and says, "I have so much yet to learn."
And with that note, and Firm like releases the solidarity he was using for the cooking to like hold his composure. He lets loose back to being drunk. Firm walks over and grabs his towel and is like throws up a hand and is like, "I'll be back next week," and then walks out.
You see a slow clap from all the servants as you step out. Even the chef himself is like vigorously clapping. And they like you see like as you were like exiting out, you can hear them all like rushing towards and silverware clattering as everyone wants to get a taste of the dish that you had made. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
If ever there were a time for that nat 20.
That
God, my
I
God.
know. Oh boy, that's incredible. um, anything else you fuckers want to get up to?
There's something Cal would like to get up to.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to sort of towards the end of the evening, I imagine around brandy and cigar time, I will try and gather as many other members of the fifth season as possible to engage in a conversation with my father.
Yeah, sure. Throughout the evening, like Cal's father has been moving about the room, talking to different things. You know, he's doing what he's born to do: move things, shake things, make deals. He has made all of your acquaintances throughout the evening as he's come by as well. He's in a fantastic mood. You don't see any of the any of the anger or resentment that he had when you had previously met him seems to all have faded. And anytime he is near Cal, he beams with a smile. You can see he's very proud of what his son has been accomplishing. Yeah, you all are gathered around. What would you like to do?
Well, as I'm sure you know by now, we are headed off to Maras tomorrow.
So I hear a very short visit, but a visit well spent. I'm glad you finally took me up on my offer.
It's very gracious of you, and it's been a wonderful evening. But my mind now is about our upcoming journey and what we hope to accomplish once we arrive in Maras. And it occurs to me that with all of your business dealings, perhaps you have some contacts in Maras that might help shed some light on the current diplomatic situation or lack thereof between Maras and Bastion.
I may have one that comes to mind. There hasn't been much business between our cities, honestly, in the last few months. None that I've been a part of, and though I've mainly been focused in on the refugee camps, the rebuilding of it, the housing project. But, an old friend may be able to, lend some information. The name is, Lana Salnir. We did a few supply trades back in the day. I trust them. They're honest, at least.
Well, look, any contacts or information that we can get would be a wonderful help, and we will be sure to look up Lana when we arrive in Maras. Do you have any knowledge as to why communication has been cut off these past 3 months, or have you heard any rumors? Or what does your sense as a businessman tell you as to why Maras has been refusing diplomatic overtures?
My sense as a businessman is that they're insane. I mean, what they're doing is, it's economic suicide. For them and for us, eventually. Well, perhaps not for them immediately. We trade with Maras. Maras has gotten very wealthy due to Bastion's trade agreements with them. The way I see it is Maras has maybe a few months left before people start really losing jobs. And I mean, like, the industry begins to collapse here. And after that, everything will crumble. Maras will lose money out of it, but they have the most to gain.
So, in your view, Maras is using economic warfare in hopes of toppling Bastion so that they can then come in and pick the bones clean.
That is a succinct way of putting it. They certainly know what they're doing. As to why the Senku has chosen this course, he knows the repercussions. He knows Bastion will not go out without a fight. He puts his own people at risk. And for what? I think picking the bones may be exactly what he's after.
Well, hopefully we'll have a little bit more success on our endeavor than Bastion's official diplomats.
Well, I have great faith that you all will at least be able to make light of something out of this. I mean, you've saved Bastion once before. You're the heroes of our fine city. You've slayed dragons, and a rumor I heard from the head of the Merchants Alliance was that you all captured that witch Umeli alive. That she's wasting away in the bowels of that Arcanium right now. If
That
anyone
windmill
can do it.
does turn, doesn't it, Father?
Well, when you're well connected. But if anyone can shift this situation, I think it may be you. You see, he raises his glass to the room of those still kind of around the area, enjoying their drinks and cigars and other sections of this area. He raises it and addresses the room and says, "A toast to my son in the 5th season." You see everyone raise their glasses to the 5th season, the 5th season.
All right, enough of that. Everyone drink.
There's entertainment throughout the evening, dancers, jugglers, fine food, and fine drinks. You find that some of the more uptight guests, once they have a few drinks, are actually not bad. Some of them are very funny. You all are very welcomed here. And you see a lot of signs of admiration and respect for what it is that you've accomplished and what you represent to the people here. For some reason, the staff, like Firm, seems to be very popular with all the staff here tonight.
He is absolutely just hammering drinks.
Um, as the evening winds down, um, Cal, you find yourself standing up on that balcony, looking down. Nostalgic memories floating in your mind along with the alcohol. You feel a warm presence nearby, an arm across your shoulder. And you see out of the corner of your eye, you see the outline of Kieran's chin and cheeks. Wow. You certainly know how to throw a soiree.
Well, I always have. It's quite easy when you can just say, "Mother," clap your hands.
It is quite easy like that.
Cal squats down so he can look between the slats of the railing down onto the ground. Was about this tall. Kieran, I know it's ridiculous, but I can't help but wonder, why didn't anyone stop her then?
You see, he kind of leans on the railing, looking down, just like you are. She wasn't who she was yet. She still believed in the world. But this night for her, it was everything. And then it was all over. She was forgotten, tossed aside, like a juggler. Just another bit of entertainment.
Well, my parents are certainly good at that. Yeah, they
Uh,
tossed their own son aside when it didn't suit them.
is that how you see it?
What other way is there to see it? I'm their only son. I needed help. At the time I needed the most help, they cut me off because it was inconvenient for them. And now that Daddy can do business again, this is what I can command.
But would you be where you are? Or would you be who you are now? If they hadn't tossed you aside, as you say.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. But where I have ended up does not excuse the transactional nature of their love. That's taught me more than anything.
Hmm. They do care for you. In their way. I think, like all parents, they do the best they can as they know.
Well, I'll say this much. I like it much better this way.
Hmm.
The food's much better. Although, I don't know for how long I saw the family's head chef of as long as I've been here crying in an alley out behind the house.
Really?
I don't know what's going on. Very strange.
Hmm.
Say, what do you make of this mess with Maras?
Oh, I don't know. Your world is funny.
Well, figured it wouldn't hurt to ask. Perhaps you'd been there, 10 years from now in my timeline and had some insight, but
Hmm.
I imagine it is funny. I feel like I got a little bit of a glimpse of what interacting with this world must feel like for you on our sojourn to that bizarre plane. Quite a thing to hop in and out and try and make sense of whatever's going on with little context. Just makes me admire you even more.
Oh, now that warms my heart.
Have you been here all evening?
Not all evening.
But you've been around, sort of keeping an eye on things, so to speak?
It was just nice to see the family's house all bustling again.
Yes. Say, do you think Gimbert can tell how flustered I am?
I don't think so. Do you fancy him?
No, right now it's more of a lust thing than anything else. I mean, he was this dirty little man running around fawning all over us, and then just caught me off guard. That's all. I'll regain my composure.
Hmm. Well, careful about mixing business and pleasure.
Mm.
Long journey
Understood.
ahead of you.
Yes, I'm not looking forward to it.
Hmm.
Any
Lot of
suggestions?
response. Oh, well. Be wary. You've been gone for a while. And that thing in the sky, well, it didn't stop working. There are more dangers here than there were when you left. Be careful in Maras. Things aren't always as they seem.
Don't I know it?
Hmm.
I mean, that was just a dirty kid that was fawning all over us and then cleaned himself up and put on some nice clothes and... Oh, I'm rambling about Gambit again, aren't I? Yes, I'm sorry.
Hmm. Maybe I should introduce myself to him. What do you think?
Oh. If
I
you'd
mean,
like,
that
I'll
is
make the
if
introduction.
you don't fancy him, that is.
You know, I think it's a wonderful idea.
I'm kidding. I've already met him. He's very nice.
Did he mention my name?
He did.
I mean, not that it matters. I'm gonna go get some more brandy.
Bring us a glass, yes?
Absolutely.
Um, when you come back, he's not there.
Mm-hmm. I clink the two glasses together. To you, Karen, and down one and down the other.
Hell yeah. But you feel his presence with you. Unless there's anything else anybody wants to do here, the party will wind down. Will wind down. You are welcome to stay. There are many rooms, luxurious beds available for you, or you can head back to Rainier's or an inn, whatever you all would like.
Thank you for your hospitality, but I'll be headed back and make sure everyone who wants a escort gets home safe.
I imagine that at some point Ember Prime finds herself dancing with Rupert or Rufus, whichever is not on duty.
Yeah.
All 4'4" of her. But she is not staying here tonight. She's gonna head back with Rainier at some point. Or to Rainier's at some point.
Yeah. As you leave, Rufus calls out, "Will I see you again?"
I'm just imagining the reach up, finger on the lips. Just dream about me.
But her reach is only to like 5 feet high.
I was gonna say. Shit, okay. She pulls over a chair, stands up on it. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, just you're gonna have to bend down a little bit even with the chair. Dream about me. Okay, I gotta go now.
Absolutely. Yes.
Cal will be sleeping here.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. All right. The evening comes to a close. Firm, several of these servants offer you company for the evening should you wish it.
No. Firm is headed back to Rainier's to just live his night out and just pass out comfortably.
Okay, you see a lot of
Purity.
disappointed faces.
Of an artist. A true artist.
Wonderful. Evening and rest comes to you all. It is the 4th of Kythorn. You have an appointment around noon for a speech in front of the council building. What is it you all would like to do?
Except around noon.
I spend the morning preparing the house to not have anyone in it for a while. And if Gambert comes by, I more gently tell him like, "Hey, this is my house."
Yeah, he's there in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate your work, kid, but as far as keeping this house, that is my job. I'll let you go and like maybe cut a patch of lawn for that spot that Merv fucking destroyed irreparably, but rest of it's mine.
Are you sure? Because Kalawunak's already paid me in advance to take care of the place.
Keep your money, but ain't much of my family left, and this is it.
Well, is there anything I can do for you? I just want to be of use. I want to earn my keep.
Tell you what, come by every 3 days. Make sure no glass is getting broken. No major weed infestations take the lawn. No one's dropping bottles in the front. Nothing. Keep an eye on it, okay?
I can do that.
All right. Good kid.
Any other things anybody needs to do before you go to the council building?
Mm, for let
Oh,
me
no.
see here. What time of day is it?
I mean, to be in the morning, right? Can you guys hear me right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Because Discord is like restarting, as well
Awesome.
as Foundry server. Okay, I'm back in the game, but the Discord is just doing the spinning loading thing.
After that night, Firm is going to make
Oh.
this for the group.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
looks good.
Everybody's internet just said no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all at once.
everybody's
East Coast
bailing.
out.
Wanted to make sure I had enough
Hey.
time. Oh, hey, Discord.
Oh.
That was weird.
Hello.
Fascinating.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
welcome back.
Hey.
Hello, here you are.
Hey.
Okay.
We're all here.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
happened? Because my Spotify never stopped. But like, I lost Foundry. I lost Discord on my phone, which was weird. And okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Weird.
Alright,
Yeah.
carry
I
on.
don't know. I don't know. We're here though. You were asking like time of day, so it's like morning, right? So
I
you know,
wanted to make sure we had
between
enough time for this. He wanted to make this for breakfast for everybody.
oh yeah, absolutely. A wonderful meal is made by Firm.
It is good to have you on, crew.
What can I say? I love to make people happy with food.
Everybody acting like I never cook for you. I'll fuck off. It's fine. It's fine.
I've given you thanks. It's also harder to bake on the road.
True.
Also, I remind you, your flower collecting nearly got a couple people killed. Not to put too fine a point on it, but
You know, I still have that flower. I need to actually do something with that. I should probably
Damn.
get some supplies. It's still good.
it's still good.
Right? It's fine.
Definitely still good. Yeah, wonderful wonderful morning meal provided by Firm. You all prepare yourselves. Whether you met at Rainier's or you meet at the council building, you all are together at the council building. I imagine you guys, since you're going to be like honored there, you probably arrive a little early. So we'll say you're there roughly about 11 or so. You can see a crowd is slowly starting to build itself at that time. There's some city watches has been set up to help, just like corral people and that sort of thing. A couple assistants to the council members kind of inform you like the kind of schedule of things, right? The about noon, the voice will address the city. Near the end of his address, he will gesture towards all of you, present the fifth season in honor, and then present a gift from the city of Bastion to you all. People begin filling in. Noon arrives. The council members begin to stand on the stairs. You see the voice approaches you all ahead of time. So good to see you here. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. You're not nervous, are you? Sorry, he's Southern. You're not nervous, are you?
Oh yes.
Can't imagine what for.
Yeah, I can't imagine much would sway y'all. Well, I better get to it. Fair crowd, maybe a few hundred people or so. As the crowd had been building up, you see there's like some people get into like little rows. Occasionally the guards come and like, break up their little squabble. There's a lot of different kinds of patriotism on display here. From Maras, Karakara, Bastion. They don't all get together and see eye to eye on everything right now. But for the most part, everybody is, here. They're just really curious, like what's happening. The voice begins to address the crowd. And I won't waste time giving a monologue as him, but to summarize it, he begins telling the people of Bastion how much they've been through and how strong they are for making it through all their trials. That they have worked hard to help the people of Karakara and continue to do so. And that there is concern about Miras and what their intentions are, and that currently they are engaging in last-ditch efforts for diplomacy, but are prepared to defend the interests of Bastion if necessary. Though it makes it plain that they do not wish to see harm come to anyone. As he's addressing the crowd, can I get perception checks from everybody?
I gotta bring my sheet back out.
Killing it.
Worm is feeling it from last night.
Mm-hmm. Yo, huge from Ember. Okay. Ember, Cal, and Zol. He's addressing the crowd, and you're all just standing. You're standing on the stairs, a little bit apart from them, but on display for everybody. You see people like pointing at you all and waving, trying to get your attention. How you respond, obviously, is up to you all. Zal, Cal, and Ember. For a moment, you see a face in the crowd that's looking like directly at you. They have a dark hood, dark cloak, and they're looking at you, but their face is obscured. They look to be wearing a mask of some kind, and the mask looks like, from the distance they are to you, they're kind of in the middle of the crowd. The mask looks like they have it's like the top half of a human skull on the top of the head, and then like where the mouth would be is missing from the skull, but there's like black greased paint covering that part of their face and neck and everything. You all kind of clock that as you turn to kind of like say something to one another and look again. You don't see that person in the crowd anymore. They appear to be gone from it.
Do they remind me of the individuals I ran into on the road? The coming back from dropping off Kembert.
From the cloak, yes, but they weren't wearing a mask like this.
Yeah.
Ember, asking that question for you, it actually reminds you of actually Cal and Ember. This reminds both of you. Zol just doesn't have the context for it. You have a memory of completing the trials of Gaul and seeing a dark magician with a skulled face, although that mask was like a full skull and covering like his whole face, but like it just triggers that connection to that memory. You hear the voice say, "And through their concerted efforts, they have captured the foul witch Umele, responsible for the devastation of Karakara. Let's give a warm welcome to the 5th season." Crowd erupts. Cheers, cheers. The 5th season, cheers. In honor of the great accomplishment, I'd like to present them with a rare honor, a key to the city of Bastion. And you see he reaches down on the little shelf on the podium that he is at and pulls out this runed rock and raises it into the sky, and the runes glow on it slightly. The crowd cheers and cheers. Zal, Cal, and Ember. As the crowd is cheering, looking out upon them again, you see more of those masked individuals now. There are 6 of them in total embedded in the crowd. The closest one is roughly like 15 feet from you at this point. There's a clutch of 3 of them together about 70 feet away, and then a few more kind of spread out a bit. You see as like they are clearly making, like they are focused on you. You see that they pull their robes aside. And from the people, the one that is closest to you, within 15 feet, you see that there is a collection of ciphers attached to their body, wrapped in filaments, connecting all of it together. And they raise a hand into the air, and though you can't hear what they're saying, they mouth it to you. Each of you sees this being mouthed to you. Ember, with your high perception there, you can catch the words being mouthed in common as they say, "For the Dark Sire." Because each of you have rolled high enough here, you each have an opportunity to react in this moment. One action each.
Oh boy. How close is the closest one?
Closest one is 15 feet from you.
And the first one that we saw, do we see that individual again, or like among the 6 that you have noted, or is it just 6 other individuals?
You see 6 that all are like they all look the same, right?
Okay.
Cloak, the same mask, the same dark greased paint.
Okay, so there's one 15 feet away. The nearest
Mhm.
one is
The
The
nearest
nearest
one's 15 feet away. You
and
see
after
you see a clutch of roughly 3 of them are there about like 70 feet away. And then there's 2 others that are just deeper in the crowd, like 100 or so feet away.
Pause my music.
Cal, here's what Cal would like to do. He'd
Mhm.
like to close some of the distance between him and that group of 3 people that are about 70 feet away, right? And
Yeah.
if
I'll
possible,
specify strictly here one action. If you want to move, that will be your action. Because this is moving
Oh, I got you. I
extremely.
got you.
This is happening quickly. It's happening in front of you.
I got you. So not like
Yeah.
not a turn, literally one thing.
Yeah, you have one
Okay.
because you rolled so high in your perception checks. You have one action available to you.
All right. Cal is gonna spend 2 sorcery points to target 2 people with vortex warp, and
Okay.
he's targeting 2 of those individuals that are 70 feet away in that group of 3 that are 70 feet away,
Okay.
and um, since this is all theater of the mind, where I would like to put them is on a rooftop. Like
Distances involved, I'd say, yeah, there's some rooftops nearby that you can, because you have to see the place. Or
right,
can
like
you
just
put
like
it-
a second story. You know, I'm not talking about like some giant tall building. I'm just talking, you know, like up high enough that it's going to take them some time to get back into the crowd.
Yeah. And correct me for Vortex Word, do you have to see the location, or can you put them into the air and they fall?
No, there's got to be. I've got to put them on solid ground.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, from here, I'd say, yeah, there are rooftops that, like, your orientation is such that you can see, like the edge of a few rooftops onto it. Cool. Okay. What saves do they need to make? Con saves.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
on set.
And your DC is 15. Okay. First one, that's a fail. Second one is a fail. Okay, you got both of them. You want them on the same roof or like separate buildings near each other? I know you have some pretty good latitude here. Where you can put them.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, if I can put them on separate rooftops, just so that it's harder for them to coordinate their plans, that would be great.
Let's see. Can you move them individually? The target is teleported to a space you of your choice. You can see within range. The distance increases, and you're twinning the spell. Is that what you're
I'm
doing?
twinning it. Yeah.
Twin. Okay, yeah. Because I'm reaching. I was like, oh, okay, the upcast is just distance onto it. Yeah. I mean, it's an individual effect on each one. So yeah, you can put them on 2 different rooftops. That seems to
Great.
work for me.
Yeah, that's
Um,
my plan.
Cool. They pop, disappear, appear on the rooftops. 2 separate buildings. Okay. Ember or Zal.
Ember, you got something?
Ember is going to. I mean, they're pointing at us, but the voice is up here, so I am going to tackle him to the ground. Try to.
Okay.
Whatever's happening, I don't want him getting hit.
Okay. You tackle him to the ground. No one sees this coming except all of you all. So you hit the man. He goes to the ground with you. There's a tink, tink, tink as the ruined rock, scatters on the steps of the council building.
Okay, I may have exaggerated my by use of the word tackle. I just meant like pull him to the ground and get in front of him.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
trying
mean,
to like body.
Yeah. I know. He is
Okay.
not expecting it, right? So like he has no reason to keep a firm grip on something that
Yeah.
ostensibly he was going to hand to you, right? Okay. The voice down. I'm assuming you're like protecting him in some way, right?
Correct. Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
bring
gotcha.
the shield up and interpose it.
Gotcha. Okay, Zal.
So there's 3 left, right? 15 feet.
One 15 feet, one roughly 70, and then there's 2 more that are spread out deeper in the crowd, farther than 100 feet.
I will, and yeah, this is the best I could do, unfortunately. I will, like, play a quick note and glance at the one on the 15th, like 15 feet away, and cast suggestion. And all he says, like, with a sudden, like, booming voice is, "Go home, try again a different day."
Okay. Can you populate suggestion for me?
Yeah.
Okay, and your DC is 16?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Wisdom save. Okay. Okay. You see their eyes kind of fuzz over a little bit, your spell having connected to them. And you see they begin to lower their hand and are turning to move, right?
Yeah.
As that effect happens, the 2 are on the rooftop. You see flashes of light from each of these people that are not suggested at the current moment. There's a wave of wind and heat that rushes across the steps. The two on the buildings, on the top of the buildings, explosion, but not fire. It's like force energy that ripples out from them. These cult members are obliterated in these moments as they are detonating a vest of ciphers all at the same time. The one at 15, nothing occurs. The one at 70 blows. The two further ones blow. Screams in the crowd. The people in the stairs, including you, are buffeted back a few feet as you raise your hand to kind of block the light for a moment. As the light dims and you all regain your senses, there are crater marks where these people were. Swaths of the crowd are literally disappeared. And where these people, these cult members were, are these cracks in reality.
If like I immediately like turn to Rainier and point at the one that I've told to walk away, since it's the last one that isn't gone, right?
Correct. Yeah, you see, he's just making like he's stumbled a bit and then is making his way, through the crowd as you've told him to go. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You point to Rainier. Rainier, you're aware of this in this moment here of chaos. There are the two people in the back, roughly 100 feet away. Those vortexes are moving towards one another. And you see that they merge together and open, and you see something pulling itself through this area. From each of the smaller cracks, you see smaller monstrosities trying to pull their way through as well. Liquidy arms flailing. You see, as the larger one in the distance, this entity pulling itself out. You see something that reminds you of, God, what is our ooze boy's name? What is the red ooze boy's name? Floun. Yeah. You see something that at first reminds you of like a dark version of Floun, of like eyes all over, and then mouths open, riddled with teeth, and begin screeching. You all see this entity pull itself out into your reality. And as it begins to screech, you see many of the townsfolk nearby that were like getting up to try to like flee just suddenly turn and start walking towards this thing as it begins reaching towards them, clearly looking to consume them. And we will pick up there next week.